Hello, Nicholas. So, I just got home from work. I'm gonna put my stuff down, but I'm gonna make this video like I said I would a while ago. But then something happened. I can't remember what. There was somebody in our house, and I felt kinda awkward just talking to a camera, so I'm doing it now. Oh, I just kicked my cat again. Why do I do that every single time? That doesn't make sense. Anyway. Hang on. Something doesn't seem quite right. What could it be? Ah, yes. There we go. I have to match your fashion choices with this sweet St. Louis hat that I got for free at a baseball game. So there's that. Also, if you notice my video quality is a lot better, it's because I'm on my new phone now. It's a OnePlus 6. I have mixed feelings about Android, but I do like it. And I've also been trying to develop a game for Android with Victor, and I've been kind of like trying to get people at work to teach me. Like I just got this hour-and-a-half overview from one of my friends, Jonathan, at work to try and learn Android development. So that's pretty fun. Hopefully it turns out well. You'll have to download it if you still have an Android phone by the time it's finished, which I'm not really sure when it's going to be, but hopefully soon. And I kind of wanted to talk about, or just share some knowledge with you about something that I've been reading on Wikipedia and also listening to on a podcast, interestingly enough. So I don't know if you've heard of D.B. Cooper, but he was like one of the only successful plane hijacking ransom, something like that in the US, right? And that was weird. Like at first I was like, how do you hijack a plane and then get money and get away with it? Like you have to land the plane, right, to get the money. So what this guy does is he gets up in the middle of his flight, goes, hands a note to the flight attendant that's like, I have a bomb in this briefcase. You need to reroute this plane, and you need to call the FBI and tell them my demands and stuff. So she has to see the bomb, and he opens it, and it looks like a bomb, so she's like, all right, whatever. Not worth it. Let's just do what he says. So they land, and he asks to shut all of the windows in the plane, because apparently snipers, he was worried about people like the FBI shooting at him, and I thought that was really like kind of smart, really, you know. So he's on the ground, and part of his demands included 4 parachutes, which it's speculated were used for sort of insinuating that he might take the crew with him when he jumps off the plane. So he asks everybody to get off except for the crew. Then the crew stays, and he starts devising a flight path and a refill stop where he can stop the plane and refill, because he originally wanted to go to Mexico City. He was trying to charter the plane. Maybe it wasn't Mexico City, but somewhere in Mexico. So he was trying to get there. And so they figure it out, and they take off, and they're all locked in the cabin. But he tells them to stay in there, and he's going to be in the back. And what's interesting about this plane is it has this like flap on the bottom where stuff could like go out, essentially. And he asked that flap to be lowered, and he asked for the plane to fly with the flap lowered. And what's interesting is this is like one of the only planes that you can do that on. So this was all pretty amazing, like pre-planned. So they don't know what's going on. They know he has parachutes, so he's probably going to jump out. So he has his money and his parachutes, and they know at approximately some time that the plane got a little bit lighter, so they assumed that's when he jumped out. And that was really it. They tried to find him, but they got nothing. And throughout the whole encounter, people said he was just really nice and polite and professional about the whole thing, which I thought was also interesting. But they never found him. What did happen was like 30 years later, or maybe it was like 10 years later. I think it was like 10 years later. they found a cache of the money that he had received by buried in a river. And there's different speculation on how that money got there, but some people think he died, some people think he didn't make it, but I'm just really impressed by how well this guy could even do that, because it took a lot of gonads to plan it and then pull it off, but I just thought that was interesting. Something else, I don't know if you've heard the Criminal podcast, but apparently there was another famous hijacker, as if you can be a famous hijacker, right? I don't know, weird. Who was in prison, and he meets this other famous plane hijacker, and he's trying to get out of prison, right? And this is going to be a super condensed version. But he's writing letters to this ex-Army helicopter pilot and telling her to steal a helicopter and come bust him and his friend, who's also a plane hijacker, out of prison. And what ends up happening with that is she does it, but the pilot of the helicopter that she's trying to steal from is also ex-Army. And he distracts her by saying the door is going to be really heavy to open. So he tells her to go open it because it's going to be really hard to open later. And at that point, she shifts the gun to her other hand. And he takes it from her and kills her in the air. So the plan didn't work. But the really remarkable thing about this is that it doesn't end there. The guys in prison get in contact with this lady's daughter and convince her to hijack a plane and say her demands are to let them out of prison. Which is, what? What? But she did it. And she said her demands, but she wasn't successful. Now that's just a general overview, and I don't remember the details almost. Certainly I didn't write anything up for this, I'm just recalling from memory, but I thought it was crazy how stuff like that actually happens in real life. So, I guess movies got to get it from somewhere. Anyway, I think I'll put this out. I created a playlist with all your songs on it. I've been listening to them, and there's some absolute bangers on there. But my 2 song suggestions would be Drunk in LA by Beach House. It's not at all what the title suggests. And Myth by Beach House, both Beach House songs. You might have heard them before, but I really like those songs. And I really like The Wintertime. Oh yeah, also I'm making a wintertime playlist if you want to check it out, of all of the songs that give me the wintertime vibes. I did it for spring, now I'm doing it for winter, and I'm really hyped about that for some reason, but it makes me really happy also for some reason. But yeah, check it out if you want. Nick, this video is really long already because I rambled about DB Cooper for a while, but anyway, I'll see you whenever you make another video. See you, buddy. Bye.